It's Andy Flagg with Mountain Computers. It's February 7th. It's Thursday. It's a great day. Today we're going to cover some books that I've written in the past year and a half, 2 years. And after that I'll share with you some products that we give away as well as sell that go along with them. So the first book that I had written starting back in 2016 with my wife-to-be was a book called The Appellant. My wife, Mila at the time, she had been through a lot in her life. And I suggested, when we had just gone out on our first date, that she write a book about her story. Well, anyhow, I ended up helping her write the book and publishing it just this last March of 2018. So anyhow, we've gone through 100 to get going. We've contacted everybody in the world, letting them know about the story. I've even gone in front of the Nevada Supreme Court and talked to them about it. And I've talked to all the lawyers, and I've talked to everybody else involved and told them what a bad deal she got. However, we wrote the story, we got it published. And so if you want to know more about it, down in the comments, there are links to it so you can learn about it. Plus, if you buy this book, it comes with a free cross. And when I'm done with the other two books, I'll share with you some of the crosses that I've learned how to make. Plus, I'm also going to tell you about how to write and publish your own book. It took me 3 months to learn how to do that. The fast way, the efficient way, the most affordable way. And it's pretty cool. So, after The Appellant, and that's Milagros Ray Ray, I went ahead and wrote a book called What's My Value Add? What's My Value Add is something that I came up with as a concept, 20, 30 years ago. And the cover was a design that I worked on in my PhD studies back in 2005. So this book talks about how, how I think about life. It's pretty straightforward. It's very fast read. Like in most things I write, I put a table of contents so you can skim through it. But What's My Value Add is about how I see life from the beginning, middle, and end. So it's a quick read. It's for sale as well. The third book I did, and it has to do with the going trend right now, and it has all to do with data science. I think a lot of people look at data and just say, oh my goodness, and make a big deal about it. Well, there is a big deal because companies, social media companies, they're using all of our data and they call it artificial intelligence, what they do with it. Well, actually they're just spying on us. But my approach to data science is, how do you understand numbers, and how do you approach numbers, and how do you do math? That's why I always say you got to know how to do math. I think the most important thing when it comes to our world, I'm a computer systems engineer, and I've had to take every math possible. And I can reduce all the books that I've had to work through, study, do the homework, real world application, theory, whatever, can be reduced down to a very small set of pages in all those books. And that's what I've tried to attempt here. On the back, I look at symbology, and I look at, I'm more of a data analyst. I crush data and I look at it from both the macro and microscopic approach. But the cover designs I came up with are interesting. Like this one here is a box, basically part of a data flow diagram from alpha to omega, and then a circle and a triangle and then pi in it, and then a data store with the summation and infinity, and then 1, 2, 3, the rule of 1, 2, 3. So Data Science by Andy, it's a good quick read. My next book is going to be How to Tame Your PC and Data. Those books are available on Amazon, KDP Select. I've got my own copies printed, and very affordably, I might add, and I'll share with you what that is like. Those three books, the first book took me about 2 years. I waited and sat on it for 3 months because I had to go through legal review and to make sure that I could release it and make sure that it was in the public interest, it was honest, it was fair, reasonable, and prudent, something anybody else would do. And for the most part, thank you Lord, it worked out, and we're trying to make it into a movie. Find script editors, find producers, find all those things. So if you know any of those, let us know. More the merrier to help us with this project. So with that book comes a free cross. And I developed a website that actually sells the crosses individually as sets, all the colors. So there's a lot of crosses, and I learned how to do this. And this is on that website, how I actually made the crosses as well. So the first set of crosses here, take a look. I got about 1,300 crosses that I made. And so from sapphire to amethyst to silver to gold. This is called haystack. Very cool design. Got lots of those. And then I did some glow-in-the-dark ones. And I learned how to do glow-in-the-dark crosses. Look at all these. These are the coolest things ever. Glow-in-the-dark crosses. I got about 800 of those. What else? Oh my god. To make these crosses, it takes, to do a given set, I had to learn how to make molds too, so I did that too. And I explained that on the website. That's the full disclosure on the manufacturing process. Gold crosses, emerald crosses, snow crosses. Those are cool. Oh, and then I did onks. Onks. It's a pre-Christian symbol. It's pretty cool. Glow in the dark, gold, amethyst, sapphire. I did some mixes too. Very cool. Some more of the this is cherry blossom, but I use these as pink. These are really cool. The amethyst ones, more silver, more gold. This is crosshatch. The other one's glitter. Glitter I got at Walmart. Some of the, in fact, all the glitter I got at Walmart over in the craft section. The epoxy that you use, you can either pay for the expensive or you can use the run-of-the-mill Home Depot, Lowe's epoxy material that they use to make resin furniture. It's the same thing. When you look at the ingredients, it's the same thing, except it's 1/4 the price by the gallon. So those are those crosses, and I have two sizes. As you can see, the big crosses, and then I got the small crosses. So those are 3-inch crosses. These are 2 1/4 inch crosses. Gold. I've got some scarabs. I have raw. This is a mixture of amethyst and sapphire. Some more cherry blossom. These worked out for the Hopes Community Church. We gave some of those over to those people who were recovering from cancer, various forms of cancer, breast cancer. It's a great idea, great concept. People like the purple the most. Sapphire, not so much. Gold, absolutely. And very cool. As far as the prices go, the small ones are like $1, the big ones are $2. You get discounts for volume. More glow-in-the-dark. I have raw. These are cool, little small ones. I used Etsy to get myself started with the molds. Then I learned how to make my own molds using a product called MoldStar 20T. And then I watched a couple of videos. And next thing you know, I've got my entire 2 workbenches back here doing crosses for this one book. For example, this is one of my molds that I made. It's pretty cool. And another mold design. Now over time these will dry out, and as you can see there's some whiteness in here. That's just from drying out. So I start out with small molds. This is one of my first test molds right here. This test mold is pretty cool. You only used about 100 times. Then I got a little bit bigger. Then I created a design for a mold for crosses to where I optimized the space. So like with this one, I think this is 16 crosses I could do at one given time. The thickness, really, you want to optimize the usage of your MoldStar 20T. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. But anyhow, that's it for crosses. Got some more of those right here. Just a little tub of them. This here are all the Etsy molds that I bought to get started. And then once I found a mold that I liked, I went ahead and learned to make my own molds. That was exciting. And what else? I think that's about it. Just more crosses, lots of crosses. I've given away more than I've sold. As far as raw materials, this is glass. I don't know if you can see this. This here is glass, broken glass. My wife's window on her car got busted, so I scooped up the glass and instead of throwing it away, I used it as a raw material to make some glass crosses. Very cool indeed. But back to the books. The Appellant, What's My Value Add, and Data Science. The third one, which is coming out, and I'm about 2 weeks overdue, is How to Tame Your PC and Data. Then my fifth book is The Life and Times of Nestor, a cat that I used to have from my Snohomish Winnemucca days. He was quite the character. But how do you do a book? First of all, you have to have a template for your book. And you can get that from Amazon. The ones that they provide don't actually work very well when it comes to doing pre-printing proofs on your own laser printer, because you have to do a booklet format. What I did is I basically took the output dimensions, got a ruler and a tape measure, and I measured what existing books look like based on their specifications, and created my own Word template and actually proofed that and ran it through their proofing checker, and then had a couple drafts printed and sent to me, and it worked perfect. So not only for the cover design, but for the internal, it worked out just great. I got a lot of books. I went to the Barnes & Nobles, I went to the library, and I collected a lot of data from various incredible authors. And I looked at their line spacing, I looked at their typeface, I looked at their point size, I looked at their inside-outside cover, I looked at everything that has to do with what's in a book. I looked at some with indexes, I looked at nonfiction, fiction, I looked at their artwork, their cover design. And I've got tons of clients who are publishers, who are self-made, millionaires as publishers, and it's pretty cool. So once you have a template and a design, there's various elements of the book that you need to create. 1, the cover. 2, the body and the content. The cover. You can see I started doing my own designs because I really didn't want to use stock photo that I had to pay for, like between $30 to $70 per photo. But my wife's that I did, I used 3, and I got those from iStock. Those are mentioned in the credits. The barcode at the bottom, there's a website that does it for free, but there's also a donation button. So every time I do one of these barcodes, as you can see, I give the gentleman who created this thing a $20 or $10, I think it's 20 usually, a donation, because it works. And there's some tips on when you generate the barcode. Don't include the price. Just use a standard 13-digit ISBN. But as far as creating the book, my goal was to write 1 book a month. The first 2 books, I sort of hit that mark. I got about a month and a half, 2 months. This one here was a lot. This is 90,000 words, 206 pages. Each one of these books is around 30 to 40 pages, but they're concise. The reason why I wrote these books too is when I was in my undergraduate up at Oregon Tech, I was always a B student, and I was going through the bookstore, and there was this book called Getting Straight A's, and it was only $7.95 back in 1989. And so I bought it, and I read it, and there were 3 things that I pulled from it, and I went from having a solid B to a solid A. And that's what I base these books on, is that same concept of thin book. When I teach, I read a book, all my training classes that I've ever had, the actual book from some company like Microsoft University or Microsoft Press or something like that, condense it down into 30, 40 pages, and use that material to teach your class. Give credit and attribution to the original author, but tell them if they want the full book, go buy it. As far as what we're going to do, this is my version of their book, so you don't violate any copyright or trademark or anything like that. Don't use their artwork, but there's a lot to do when it comes to writing a book. But that's it for books. And crosses. I'll give you the link in the comments to the crosses so you can buy them. The idea behind the crosses, not only for my wife's book, but also for Christmas trees. You can take this product and just move it aside and use it in any industry, any product. The crosses that glow in the dark, the material, I had to do my homework, and I looked all over the world for the best material at the lowest price, an industrial grade product, and I found it. And that's what I do best. Is I'm a resource genius, I would have to say, give myself a little credit, because when I was in motor pool supply in the Army, I was credited with really digging deep and finding good things, high quality, lowest cost, highest value. And so the price, quantity, volume, I'll share with you that link. That product came out of Australia, New Zealand, and that glow-in-the-dark material is phenomenal. And you can mix it right with epoxy or other mediums, and it works great. And as far as the molds go, Etsy, you can get started with Etsy. And then just practice and play with it, and be careful, because the fumes on epoxy is really strong. But the set time is 9 to 12 hours. So when you do crosses, do a quick pour. Be creative. Learn how to make molds. Some YouTube videos that taught me how to make molds, and when I saw them making molds really cool, I paid attention to the materials and the containers. And MoldStar 20T was an amazing product. You can't get it around here in Nevada, but I was able to order it from California, and there's 2 suppliers down there, and I think they were probably surprised that I ordered it. But I'll share with you that link too. You're not really going to compete with me. You could, but why not just join up with me and let's do something amazing together. Writing books. About 20 people I've already convinced to write books about their lives, about what they know. That's good. That's a good thing. Several successful people have always said, just write one book in your life. And I was like, that's interesting. Very successful entrepreneurs, but also very successful financial people. So to write a book isn't that bad. And don't worry about perfection. Several of my incredible authors and friends, they told me the errors are fine. Just get it out there. One lady, she actually has her own blog, and she says, what does it take for people to just get it done? Get it started, get it done. You can always go into multiple editions, multiple revisions. Some people like lots of artwork in their stuff. I like lots of facts bolded. I want the highlights, in your law classes, you want the head notes. Tell me what this is about and what's your conclusion, and get to the point. And it's not that I'm in a hurry, it's just that there's so much information out there, but I need to find the stuff that really matters to me, that's going to make me both happy and successful. So when it comes to writing a book, cover design, how to tame your PC and data, that one's coming out. I fought with that cover design. Do I do stock art, or do I do my own? And really, this yellow standout, just like the green, this green is like no other green. In my Go Green PC tune-up software, I said, go green, it's got to be a green that stands out on your desktop. That icon's got to be like right there, and your eye just goes right to it. Not a lot of people use striking colors. Several fashion industries do. Subtle colors, striking colors. But my wife's book, I really wanted to look serious. U.S. Supreme Court. Picture of her. Most books, they say put your photo on it. I intentionally left mine out in the first edition. I knew I was going to do this video stuff. I've just been meaning to do it for 3 years. But my wife, this is one of her best pictures. I love that. But for me, I may go back in, and I always describe in my book the purpose behind the cover. I describe the cover, why I do it. Data science, what's my value add? My next one. But that's it for today. We've covered how to write a book, what books we've done. They're for sale. They're on Amazon. Amazon switched over to KDP Select, and that's fine. They'll give you your ISBNs automatically for free. Get one. Back in the day, you used to order, you could get 10 of them for free from some company in Florida. My friends from college in my undergraduate days, we wrote a book, and it was pretty cool, and I was sort of the operations guy. And that was my first approach to writing. That book was on photolithography, and that was manufacturing of IC and circuits, basically silicon to processors. And that was a great book. I still had copies of it, but since I've recycled it, but that went defunct. But that process alone was helped me do this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and feel free to share this on your social media, Twitter, Facebook. This one's a little longer because this is a big subject. I'll make this just part one. And you'll notice that I don't go into post very much with my videos. One lady who just commented on my videos yesterday, she says, "The camera likes you." I was like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." So I look around, I think, and I really care to speak eloquently, and I really care to present the materials as logically as possible. I used to jump around a little bit, but that's no surprise. It's not a function of any of these diagnoses we see for children today. Back in the day, it's just called your hyper. But how to write a book. I'll probably write a book or a pamphlet on how to do that and provide all the tools and the flow chart, because nobody should be afraid to write a book. The cost to print one of these books right now is $2.35. So if I order 10 of these, that's like $20 and some change. But these are proofs that I can turn around and sell for a profit or straight up cost. One guy just told me, he says, just give your book away. Give your books away. That was his approach. Some people do contests. I don't know. I think in our lifetime, share our knowledge, write it down, take the time, and this one book, How to Tame Your PC and Data, it's A to Z, and there's a couple letters that I just cannot figure out. I mean, I don't want to be dorky, but I definitely want to have something of meaning in there. But I might end up just leaving it blank and let, the reader suggest and fill it in. And for a prize, for something. Good ideas, interaction. That's what it's about. Take something you read, apply it, and make the world a little bit better. So on that note, I look forward to your comments, and feel free to share. This is Andy from Mountain Computers, signing out for now, and there will be more to come. Thank you, and have a great day.